Okay. Thank you. I think you can hear me then. How was our week? I hope our week was awesome. And someone raised a question which we are going to look at. Okay. So once again, my name is Yomi Aledare. I was the trainer for the SharePoint last week, and I'm here again today. And today and tomorrow is actually going to be a lot where you're going to see the power of SharePoint. And last week we looked at the SharePoint in terms of the features and capabilities. So what we want to look at today, we're going to look at the other features that SharePoint provides. So, we looked at the SharePoint site, we looked at the various features of the SharePoint site, and we saw how we can build a site by adding all the various web parts. So in addition to that, there are, as discussed in the SharePoint collection, we have the site, we have the list, we have the document libraries. Okay, so we've been able to take care of the site. So today we'll look at the list and document library. And then by tomorrow, we can look at SharePoint administration, where we're going to highlight some various features regarding SharePoint administration in terms of how to restrict various things. So I shared the slide already on the I think on the WhatsApp group. So if you have it, you can follow along. But I believe we can all see my screen. If you can see my screen, just somebody is raising hand.
Yeah. Okay.
Inyang. You are raising your hand.
Okay. Let's just unmute the mic so he can talk if he has a question. Okay. Since the hands is lowered now, so you can continue.
Thank you. So we have a lot to cover, and time is not very on our side. And the concept today is something that I will need to slow down because it can be very confusing. And I also need our participation. So if you join on your laptop, I would like you to just type yes on the chat. If you join your laptop, type yes on the chat. Okay. So we have Ifeoluwa. Okay. That's good. That's good. Okay. So we have some good numbers. So why I'm asking is that we're going to have some task where I will ask some of us to probably upload a file or add one or two items. It's part of the activity that we're going to do today. Okay. So let's look at our schedule today quickly. We're going to look at the introduction to the apps, the libraries, the list, the classic list apps, adding apps to a site, more options for adding lists. We look at columns in list, public and personal view, uh, managing the app settings, content approval, what are major and minor versioning, uploading files, creating and editing files, file templates, co-authoring, content approval, and then we look at the views as well. Now, to start with, like I said, focus today is on these two areas: document library and um, SharePoint list. So I'll want to bring in, let me see, should I bring this here now? This guy is on my screen now. Okay. I may want to draw, so I needed to bring in that to annotate for me. Okay, so document library, it's simply okay, you can read all I have on the slide, but it simply refers to like a folder. Okay, just like some of us that I believe most of us went to school. You know, you have your bag or your folder, you have your textbook, you have your notebook, you have your files, you have your other documents. Okay, so document library is something of that nature where you can organize all your files and folders or directories. So whenever you hear document library, what should come to your mind is just a file store, okay, or a place where files are stored, which also would hold other folders. Okay. Now, another app that we have in SharePoint is what we call the list. Okay, the list is essentially something that's similar to the Microsoft Excel worksheet. You know, in Excel, you have rows and columns in Excel. So that is similarly what a SharePoint list is. And its purpose is for recording items. So like it's more like a cloud database. Okay. It's more like having a cloud database in SharePoint, such that you can store information, maybe inventory of the business. Okay, you don't want to use Excel, you want to have that in SharePoint. You can use a list, and you see why it's that powerful compared to when you use an Excel. Okay, we're going to see that as we go along. So every other thing we're going to be discussing applies to document library and the SharePoint list. Okay, they both apply to document library and SharePoint list. And as I mentioned before, now I said SharePoint Online is uh, is a service provided by Microsoft, and it relies heavily on a backend SQL server. So if you upload a file, every information or metadata about that file is stored in a backend database. So we're going to see the limitations of what that is as we go along as well. Okay. Now we want to look at the first concept, which is co-authoring in SharePoint. Okay, co-authoring simply means that two or more persons can work on the same documents at the same time, and usually supported or usually provided by Office applications. So that means you can't do that for PDF files. So you can do that for Word documents, you can do it for Excel, you can do it for Microsoft PowerPoint. Of course, Microsoft Access does not have a web option, so that is not included. So it simply means that Alex or Andrew or Jones can both work on the same file simultaneously or the same documents. Okay, so we have an Excel file that has you need to record sales from January to December, and you don't want to create different documents. Okay, because of co-authoring in SharePoint, you can say, okay, James will handle um, January to March, Andrew will handle April to June. You can share it like that, and everybody will be able to work on the same documents, and at the end, you have the work completed. It's one thing that SharePoint provides. Okay, it ensures that collaboration is top notch in um, in SharePoint. Okay, so we're going to demonstrate that as well. Co-authoring, we're going to demonstrate that in this task. Then we also have what is called the check-in and check-out. Okay, check-in and check-out, I'll put it this way, is an enemy of co-authoring. Now, why do I say so? Co-authoring, I said earlier, allows two or more persons to work on the same document. Check-in, check-out does not allow, or let me put it this way, check-in, check-out is a feature that allows only one person to work on a document at a time. Okay, and that step happens when the user decides to check out the file. Okay, and that file cannot be edited by any user until that same user had checked in the file. Okay, I'll say that again. The check-in, check-out feature in SharePoint is a feature that allows only one person to work on a file at a certain time. It's a feature that ensures that the document is only available for editing by one user. And it starts by checkout, which means that I want to edit this file and I do not want this file to be edited by other users. And once I am done editing the file, I can click on checking. A good example is if in that sales record of Excel that's going to record sales from January to December in different worksheets. Okay, if I've after everybody have provided the information, and probably I'm waiting for somebody to provide particular um, maybe the December worksheet. Maybe Anne decides to delay because of maybe she went on a date or something. So that is now kind of delayed. Okay, so and I want to move on with the task. I can start to do what? Check out the file. So even if she's back on my date and probably it didn't go well and she's now typing rubbish, that will not be possible. Why? Because the file is checked out. So the implication is that um, Andrew will go ahead to complete the work, perfect everything, and then do a check-in. And once he had done that, then the file will be editable by other users. Okay, so mind you, during checkout, users can still read the file. The only thing that they can't edit the file. So it's also like an additional feature that is available in SharePoint. I don't know if you're understanding me, or if I'm making volume is so low today, or is it on my end? Please confirm. Or somebody say volume is low. Okay, my volume is fine. Thank you. Okay. So if I'm making sense, please thumbs up, put in on the chat. We have over 100 persons here. I'm only seeing Few thumbs up. Okay, thank you. So quickly, so the thing is that you need to understand the concept, okay, and as the pattern has been from our first class, we try to establish the theoretical foundation, then we'll go to demonstrate um, all of that, and then you have your lab. Okay, so the same approach, and having a grasp of this concept will help you when it's being demonstrated, so that you're not looking confused, because sometimes it can be very conflicting. Okay, so the implication of this is that you can't configure checkout if you want to also allow co-authoring. Okay, why? Because this feature, okay, is um is configured on the entire document library. So if you have a document library, you just configure check-in, check-out. It's going to affect all the files. Okay, so there's no option to say only allow check-in, check-out for certain file in the folder. No. Okay, this feature is configured for the entire. Okay, so it means that if I want to allow co-authoring, then I can't use check-in, check-out. Okay, so take note of that. Then we have another concept called SharePoint Content Approval. Okay, SharePoint Content Approval is a feature that basically allows you to protect your content in SharePoint. Okay, I'll give us an example. Building on that, what is it called? On that sales data in Excel that have been shared. Okay, for instance, you want to allow that, okay, people can probably make some changes or create pivot tables or input some formulas. However, you want to be able to approve that change before it becomes visible by other users. Okay, SharePoint content approval is the way to go. How is the flow? We have Jane. Okay, Jane opens a file. Okay, or adds a file. This is the file. The file goes to the SharePoint, and a user that is like an owner, let's call that user X, gets notified about that. Hey X, there is a file that has just been added, or there's a new item on the list. Okay, I keep using file. I think I also need to talk about list, because all this concept applies to a list. So somebody made mention of how we can create a leave app, or something like a way to apply for leave and get it approved. So we're going to use this content approval to build something like that, where we'll have some persons, request for leave, and then somebody gets to approve or reject. Okay, so I want to demonstrate that using SharePoint content approval. Okay, so but basically what you understand is that your content here could refer to an item in a list or a file in a document library. Okay, an approval here simply means that um, a feature that gives the owner the right to determine the files or items in a list that are visible by users that have permission to that document library or list. So when Jane uploads or makes changes to a list, and X is notified. If X decides to reject that change, okay, it means that this our man here, Andrew, will not see that change. And what happens? Jane can be sending email and be insulting Andrew. Why has Andrew not giving his input to the file, whereas the site owner has decided to reject the file? Okay, for whatever reason, he has decided to reject the file. So Andrew will not see the file, or Andrew will not see the item. Okay, Andrew will be completely blank. Why? Because that site has a content approval in place. Okay, so you can read the slide. I don't know, I've not been reading all this, but everything I'm saying, if you read it, you see that it's in line. Okay, so let's not join a live class and we're reading slides. Now, another concept that we have in SharePoint is what is called versioning. Okay, versioning. Okay, versioning. Okay, you know, when you hear the word version, it means that you're talking about different another word for version. Who can give me another word for version, please? Hello. Another word for version. Okay, release. Okay, copy. Yes. Okay. Now, when one of the key or strong or selling point of SharePoint is versioning. Okay, it means that, well, you just sold your idea to the CEO of Platinum Bank and say, start using SharePoint, blah blah blah. And he says we have 1,000 employees. What happens if somebody deletes a file, or somebody um, deletes a list item, or somebody decides to input the wrong information, and we have lost access to the hard copy, and blah blah blah. Okay, versioning comes to the rescue. Versioning is a concept in SharePoint that keeps record. Okay, it keeps record of changes that are made to a list item or a file. Okay, for instance, the Excel example I gave us, somebody out of whatever reason has gone to I don't know what the person did, or we don't know what the person did, but the Excel file is no longer responding. If you open it, it just be scrolling and doesn't open. Okay, this, what can you do? You can't say you want to delete and start over. Okay, you can just say, oh, there is a tool called versioning. So if I go to a previous version that worked fine, okay, I can have my file back. Okay, so and in versioning, you can choose the option to restore the item or document to that particular state, or you can make a copy. Okay, now before I leave versioning, versioning also contributes to your storage, your overall storage. And that's why it's usually not recommended that you so this is very important. Okay, it's usually not recommended that um your Outlook PST file for your mailbox is residing in SharePoint. Okay, because as new emails are received, you have a new version. As new emails are replied, you have a new version. As new emails are sent, you have a new version. So if a user is receiving 100 emails, that means 100 versions will be created for that particular PST file. And that will end up causing the SharePoint storage to get filled up quite faster. Okay, so versioning contributes to your SharePoint storage. So it's not like Microsoft is creating somewhere else to store your versions. No, it's also part of your storage. So the more versions you have, the more storage you are going to consume. So for instance, if you are storing your Photoshop design or card design and it's about 200 GB, okay, then you must be careful on how you configure the major and minor versions, because the implication is that just 5 versions created, that is already 1 TB. Yeah, 5 times 200, that's already 1 TB of storage out of whatever storage that you have. Okay, so if I'm making sense thus far, I've talked about content approval and versioning. Give me a thumbs up. I think we have just said the 30 minutes that we're supposed to use for our discussion. So I need to move very fast. Okay, I think we're drawing close to our demo. So the last I want us to look at is SharePoint alerts. SharePoint alerts. SharePoint alerts is an interesting concept in SharePoint. Okay, alert, of course, we know what alert is. Okay, so whereby you can decide that, okay, you need to get notified. For instance, you have set up some restrictions like approval or check-in, check-out, whatever it is you have set up, and you want to be able to track changes. So you want to be notified if a new item is uploaded or blah blah blah, or maybe you have built um, 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 a list that is supposed to record orders. So as orders are received, someone should, as orders are added rather, someone should get notified, like receive an email that there's a new order, so that other person can act on that order. So SharePoint alerts is what allows you to do that. And SharePoint alerts could be implemented on SharePoint. It could also be implemented by Power Automate. Okay, will also be implemented by Power Automate. Now, before we go on to our demo, we have talked about SharePoint document library and SharePoint list. Okay, recently, no, not recently. I think last year or thereabout, Microsoft introduced what is called Microsoft List. Microsoft List. So Microsoft List is uh, the same feature as lists, as the SharePoint list. However, the SharePoint list resides in SharePoint, while Microsoft list resides in OneDrive. Okay, so take note of that. And then also the Microsoft list, come on, it has a lot more features. Okay, and the look is also very interesting. Okay, so any question on all that we have talked about? We started with SharePoint, co-authoring in SharePoint, and then we looked at check-in, check-out, content approval, versioning, SharePoint alerts, and want to look at the demo. Somebody's asking how many lists. Okay, so there is no number. This is because there is no list. You have to create it. Okay, you have to create it. Okay, you have to create the list. So saying that how many lists does SharePoint have? Okay, there is no number tag on that. Okay, because you have to create the list. Okay, why do somebody is asking why do you have? Okay, I made mention of email. Okay, if I receive an email from Kelechi, and then later I receive an email from Mary. These are my PST file has changed. Okay, I have two different versions. One PST contain an email from Kelechi. The latest PST, sorry, contains email from Mary and as well from Kelechi. Okay, so that is why that is the case. Okay, different versions are stored separately. Okay, somebody says, I think we can have the total list. Okay, as at now, I don't have that information. Okay, so you can run a search for that. I think there's something on the SharePoint limits, but I don't want to discuss anything about SharePoint limits today. We look at all the limits. Let's talk about the sweet stuff of SharePoint. Tomorrow, we are going to see some of the limits that we have. Okay, so maybe we can bring that up as well. Can we delete previous versions? Yes, you can. You can delete previous versions of your SharePoint. That we'll discuss tomorrow as well. Okay, so let's go to it. So we want to look at, want to demonstrate all that we have been saying since. Okay, let's see how that goes. So I think we need to create a SharePoint site. Okay, so let's create a SharePoint site, and we don't want the SharePoint site to be connected to a Microsoft 365 group. This is because I'm going to share the file with us, the site with us, and I don't want restriction on the site. I want to be seeing access denied and the rest. So here am I on the SharePoint admin portal. What do I go to create my site? Okay, on this active site, I look for create. Okay, but before I do that, let me confirm that the policy I have for sharing allows me to share files. Okay, so that's okay. It says users can share files and folders using links that do not require signing. Okay, so that is fine for my SharePoint. This is my focus for today's class. So our SharePoint permission is set up correctly. Okay. Okay. That's just probably I've not mentioned this. While SharePoint, or maybe I may forget to mention it later, while SharePoint document library and list allows you to share with anyone, SharePoint site does not support that. Okay, SharePoint site, so you can access a SharePoint site without signing in. Okay, but for document library, you can access it as long as you have been given that permission to do that. Of course, not the entire document library anyway. It has to be probably a folder or an item in the document library. So let's create a SharePoint site that does not include a team or that is not connected to Microsoft 365 group. So to do that, you can't use it. Once you use this, it's automatically, okay, you can see it says can connect to other. So we don't want to just use that. So come here and then just choose this option, team site. Okay, it says this option does not create a Microsoft 365 group, which is what we want. Okay, shared calendar, blah, 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 which is what we want to use. Okay. Site name. Let's call it. Who can give me a name? First name. Need somebody to give me a name. Yeah, creating the site as an admin. Yes, I'm creating the site as an admin. Okay. Admin does not have what's it called? User does not have the option to create a site without the option of adding Microsoft 365 group, which I showed us the last time. So I think I like this name. Let's choose Zurara dash Vouch. Okay. Description, some student name suggestions. Okay, site admin. I think that's me. Can't find. Okay, I thought you can't find my name. Language English. Time zone. Let's look for something that relates to where we are. West Africa. And create sites. Okay, so I want to add some users from this site, from this tenant as well to the site. So I may need to do that once it's created. Where's my refresh? That should be at the bottom. Okay, so this is our site. So you can see it's not connected to Teams. That's why it's not. And then it doesn't have, if I go to the end stream end, there's a place where you have yes, no, and okay. Microsoft 365 group is no. So created by. So we have that. And then I just want to add some members here quickly. Or maybe I should just do that from the other. Yeah, let's just continue. So let's click on this to access the site. So wait for that to open. So our focus today is on document library and list. Okay. Whenever you create a site, it comes with a document library or a default document library called documents. But there are no lists. We have to create that ourselves. Okay, so so to start with, where is that slide? Okay, so to start with, let's create a documents library to drag this here. Okay, so to start with, let's create a document library. So quickly go to site content. Okay, site content. Okay, site content on the left. Then another option you have is, okay, let's allow, why is it slow? Okay, another option you have is coming to this icon here, the settings icon. Okay, so if I click on it, okay, so what do I have? I have site content. Okay, so I can click on it as well, and then it brings me here. So these are the two options or two ways to access the site content in SharePoint. Okay, now what does the site content contains? The site content contains your document libraries, your list, your sites, pages, and other assets. Okay, we don't want to tamper with form template, site. These are SharePoint. What is it called? Default folders or default content that have been created. So to create our document library, we just click on this icon here, new. Okay, and we're looking for document library. So I'll click on it, document library. It should give me an option to choose a name. So we'll call it somebody asking how to create SharePoint site. Please watch the last week video. Okay, for that step. Okay, so now Microsoft has some templates for me. It's asking me this document library, what do I want to store in it? Media, libraries, invoices, or learning materials. Okay, so what will happen is you're going to create some features for me, but I don't want to do that on your own. You can try that. Okay, then it says also I have the option to create from so if I want to use any of this template, I have the option to create from my existing library. Okay, but I want to do a blank document library. So I'll just click on this blank here. And then it says add a name. So the name, I'm going to create 2 document libraries. I have Zurara, description, information about Zurara. Okay. Just click on create. So we're going to demonstrate all of this. Zurara will have its own settings, and we'll create another one. What's the name again? Which that will have its own setting. So you can see while creating the site, I asked it to show in navigation. That's why you're seeing it here. Okay, that's why you have it here. And we want to add one more document library. So I'll click on site content again. Then you can see Zurara here. Okay, and then you see this guy here. I can delete it. So let's create a new one. Okay, click on, okay, so I don't want to show in navigation. Let's see what happens. Okay, so I have my Voj document library. So you can see we don't have Voj here. Okay, we don't have Voj here because I unchecked that I don't want to show it. Okay, so if I go to home, okay, we can see Zurara, but we don't have Voj. So in some cases, you may want to have some document library not too visible. Okay, so you can have that as well. But now, how do I access it? If I go to site content, this time is running now. If I go to site content, I should see Voj. Okay, and I can click on it and have it opened. Now I've changed my mind. I want to add it back to this navigation. How do I do it? I go to site content. And I go to the 3 dots. You see that settings. Let's go to list, education, navigation. Display this document library on the quick launch. Yes. And I will say save. Okay, and if I change the name, okay, let me not go into that. Let's just save. Udo, I think I've answered your question, right? But let's confirm whether I've answered it. I'm seeing it here. But let's see. Let's go back home. Ooh, so here is it. Okay, so basically what I've done so far is just to create document library. Okay. Now want to start putting some items in there. So let's go to Zurara. Come on. So I want to create a folder. So folder. So we can use different colors. So let's create a folder of flavors. I hope that is a flavor. Pardon me if I don't put in the right name of flavors. Whatever flavor do we have? Okay, so we have some folders. So this is basically how you add folders to your document library. How do you add files? Okay, you can use this upload to bring in files. How you have them on your PC. You can even drag, let me drag some file. And drag file in. So it's uploading. I think my network is trying to play with me a little. Okay, so you can drag it in and then you can use this upload as well to bring in file folders as well. You can use this new to create new documents. So you can add a notebook, PowerPoint slide, and Excel document. Maybe I should just give us this task so that I save my time. Although I already clicked on it, that should be created for me already. So we have seen how we can create document library, how we can create a new workbook or workbook, how we can upload the file. I can rename this with the 3 dots. So I'll look for rename. Okay, so luckily it's just beside. And also check it and look for a name here as well. Luckily I have it here. Rename, and then I'll say sales. Click on rename. Okay. Now I want to give us, those of us that have laptop, will your users see all that or just document library you want them to see? That's where we are going now. Okay. So let's find out. Tell me what you are able to see. Okay, so this is my document library. This is my SharePoint site, and within it I have created Zurara and Voj. Now I want to share this file because I want to share with an external user without requiring signing. So I want to share this. So go to any of this folder. I'm going to share the 3 folders and just drop files in there. Okay. What am I doing here? Come on. I don't have anyone with a link. What do I do? Okay, it means I need to go back to the SharePoint admin. Okay. For this site, I'll go to the settings and see what the settings are. External, though my organizational policy allows me to share SharePoint with anyone, the site itself does not support it. Okay, so you can see that I have to now come here and modify that and then save. Okay, so that's the level of sharing that you have. So, but of course, this controls what is it called? This permission here controls what you see here. If there is no anyone allowed here, you won't see anyone option here. Okay, so you can test that to see that as well. So let's go back to our site and let's see if we have anyone now. I need to refresh. I hope I don't need to do that. So let's click on settings. Yes, we have anyone. Okay, so lucky you guys. And I've given you permission to edit. Okay, so that means you can edit the file. Okay, you have can't download. Okay, view but can't download. Can't make changes. That means they can view, they can download but not make changes. You can view, can't download. So these are the but I wanted to be able to edit. So just copy that. I'll paste. Come on, paste the link. Don't paste that for me on the link. Okay. So therefore, I have laptop. Let's start assessing that, and let's start adding files in. So for vanilla, I am being protective, so I say can view. So let's see who is going to be able to add a file to that. I'll give the person my laptop. So if I can see a file in vanilla, you have my laptop automatic. So let's go, guys. Click on the link and add a file. So let me share this document library, entire document library with okay. Let's do the activity so that we can come back and continue. So let's start adding files. Okay, so we have some files already. Strawberry. Nobody likes strawberry. I'm not seeing any file in vanilla. What's happening? Strawberry, there's no file in strawberry. Seiton, which folder? Which folder? Which folder? You can't, you're not able to add a file. Which folder? Yes, if you can't add a file in vanilla, it means you are doing the right thing. So go to strawberry and I don't know and add file. How come? Satan said he can't add a file. He or she cannot add a file in vanilla. So let's see. Guest. Okay. So you can see this is the view. So if I want to go back to Zahara now, look at what I can only see the folder. Whereas the main site has strawberry, vanilla, sales. So this concept is what is called granularity. Okay, big grammar, granularity. Let me type it. Because I'm not being touche with my pronunciation. Granularity. Okay, so somebody said, yeah, that file in strawberry. Let's see. Ah, ele. Somebody said doesn't like strawberry. We have in Daboski folder. Hope we are safe. What is inside in Daboski folder? So you can see we have been able to add file. Okay. Abio, who's adding in Daboski? Before in Daboski will come and join our call. Okay, so I was talking about granularity. Okay, so you can see is another folder document library, and I can only see one folder because I'm currently using the link that holds that folder. Okay, and because it's anonymous, so I can access the file and all of that within it. Okay, and so you can see how we have users, various persons upload file to our document library. Now the challenge with this is that you can say everybody is guest contributor. Okay, everybody is guest contributor. So what that means is that if somebody now decides that I don't have any file to add and decides to delete all these files, okay, because it's guest, there's no how we can know in specific who did that. Okay, there's no how we can know in specific who did that. So that's one thing with guest. So when you're giving guest access, you want to limit it to what they can do. And once you give edit power means that you can delete and all of that. Okay, so thank you. Now we want to move on to something else. We have seen how to create document libraries. We want to go to list. We want to go to list and so let's this time is running. want to go to list. So we have this guy that we have created. It has not been shared, so we don't have access to it. But we're going to use this document library to demonstrate the co-authoring, the version, and everything. Sorry, not the co-authoring, the check-in, check-out. Okay. So now on this Zurara, okay, we have this sales file. So I'll click on it, and then we want to demonstrate co-authoring now. So for my sales, I have give me that. So for my sales, I have the products, price, and the quantity. Okay. So everybody gonna add. I don't want to see the pain in the product too. So I'm gonna share the file with us. So let's click on share. Anyone with the link can edit. Let's copy that. Okay. And sometimes they can't find Surara in his own tenant. We created it. Okay, it's not there. Okay, we created it. Just watch. We're going to create lists. So you're going to see how we created it. So I've shared sales with us. So let's start filling it. Let's start filling it with products. So you can see it's showing already those who have access to this. So this is the power of SharePoint, and this is co-authoring in action. So you can see different what is it called? Different persons accessing the file and making one or two contributions. Yes, from authors. Thank you. So this is basically co-authoring, okay, where users can access a so let's have our user here also access the file. Okay, so let's have a delay access the file. Okay, so that is co-authoring for you in SharePoint. Okay, so let's look at the other concept, which is the okay, check-in, check-out, and content approval. I want to handle that on the other site. So let's leave that out. Let's leave that out. Now let's quickly go to the next step. So thank you very much. You can stop now. Want to continue the class? Want to continue the class? But before I continue, let's look at version. So this file now, people have made a lot of changes. Somebody have started adding wrong values, doing something there. So maybe I want to correct all this, or people have decided to be stubborn and continue editing the file. Okay, so I can deliver myself from that bondage. If I go to these three dots, okay, I go to manage access. She mean I say I not go here and I get coconut head. I say okay, oh, myself, I know what to do. So I just come here and say stop sharing. Bam. So once I hit it, all that energy to start updating is gone. So it means that nobody can edit this file. So if you can't edit this file again, don't drop it on the chat too. It means that we have blocked the access. Okay, what's the disadvantage of this code? Disadvantage. You just saw it now. Disadvantage is that a lot of persons can work on the file at the same time. Okay. So that is the only disadvantage he has. Okay, and imagine if maybe Jumoke does not greet me and we are doing co-authoring, I can be deleting her own work and be adding my own work to the same line just because I want to make trouble. Okay, just because I want to make trouble, I'll just be deleting. So co-authoring can cause that. Somebody say it looks clumsy. Let's see. Okay. Somebody say it looks clumsy. Okay. So it's fine. Someone deleted you. Okay, so you can see. Yeah, that is the drawback of co-authoring. Also, more than one co-author can be trying to input values into the same cell at the same time. I think the check-in, check-out has an advantage in the system. Yeah, so but they all have their task. Okay. If for instance you have defined and say sheet one is though some person will still go and be entering the wrong sheets. That's why like you can see all these things I have here now. Who did I send to do all this? Okay. So how do I rescue myself? I go back, click on these three dots, I come to this guy, version history. That's how now I've stopped sharing. So no more changes can be made. But how do I rescue myself? Version history. Unfortunately, my site is configured to store major version. So it means that you can see version 1, 2. Okay, so that means I can't even do anything here. I can't do anything here. But let's just see that quickly. Okay, so that takes us to our next step, which is this document library called Vogue. Okay, so I need to click on it first. Then I'll go to my cogwheel, my settings gear. Yes, access denied. That is the right thing. I've blocked it. So back here, I click on library settings. Okay, library settings. So click on that. More library settings. Okay, what are we trying to do? We want to look at versioning history, content approval, and um, check-in, checkout. Okay, at the moment that option is not available. I didn't show us that, but let me show us that. Okay, let me just duplicate this tab so I don't have to close because of the network. So if I go to Zurara or even Voj, there's nothing here. So let me use this one. Uh, this file, if I come here, I won't see the option for checkout. Okay, I have it there. Did I enable it? Let's see. So let's go to versioning settings. Let's see what we have. Okay, so it says require content approval for submitted item. I'll set that to no. Okay, let's leave it as it is for now. We'll do this with the list. We'll demonstrate with the list. And then I said create major versions. So you can see why that did not give me flexibility. So ordinarily for that XF file, we have enabled uh, major and minor versions. Okay, so that I'll be able to have more flexibility. What kind of version limits do you want to set? No time limits. Or I can say manual, or I can say automatic. It all depends on your need. Okay, so when you read all of this, you can see versions are deleted when they exceed the following number of days. So if I check this, I'll be able to specify um, after 30 days, version should be deleted. So that way I'm saving my storage. Okay, but no limits. Let's leave it at that for now. Then it says keep the following number of major versions. I can reduce that to just 50. Keep draft of following number of major versions. Okay, so this is for checkout. Where is the checkout again? Checkout. Okay, feature. That's what this works with. Then it says who should see draft items. So all of this from this draft blah, blah, blah is all the checkout feature. Okay, so it assumes that the document is in draft format. Sorry, this and this is for work with the content approval. Okay, it says specify whether new items or changes to existing items should remain in a draft state until they have been approved. Okay, until they have been approved. So this and this works together. So if you say you want to enable content approval, then should any user be able to read the items or only users who can approve the items? Okay, for now, I have not enabled content approval, so it's not enabled. Okay, now it is. Okay, but I don't want to do content approval for library. I want to do it for share for list. Then our focus, these are focus. We want to require. Currently, is not enforced. So optionally, you can check. You can just work on the file like we just did co-authoring, and then I can try to check it out. Okay, I try to check it out. So I'll just demonstrate that quickly because this time is running. I wanted us to finish on time so that we can take various angles of question. So pardon me, I'm going to combine that, but let's not jump away from here. So we are doing this for, which site are we doing this for? I think this is for This is for Voj. It should be for Voj. So I want to say required document to be checked out before they can be edited. Okay. For the number of major versions which we have, you must enter between 1 and 1. Where did I not enter? Okay, draft. Just 2. Where is that again? Okay. So the minimum for my major version is 100. Okay, so I've updated the setting for Voj, and I have required that content be checked out before they can be edited. So let's copy this to Voj. So copy to. So all of these options, I did not right click. Okay, I click on the 3 dots. Okay, I click on the 3 dots, and then I look for move to. You also have them here as well, but you have to check the file first, and then you come here. It's not, I'm not seeing that here, so I need to come to this 3 dots again, copy to, and then I can. Come on. So I want to copy to another library, not the same document. So I will click on more places. And let's see if, come on. Sorry, oh, I wanted to just do it from here. File, save a copy. More save location, still brought me here again. So basically I want to add a file to, I've just created another file. Wow, back to the same place I was running away from. So where's our Voj? Where's my document like? Okay. Save here. So it's saving that. So if I go to my Voj library, I should see sales. I think it's still saving it. Taking its time. So I keep this guy. Come on. Okay. So now we have it in. Now you can see that automatically there is a red mark. The red mark simply means that the document has been checked out. Okay, the document has been. So if I share it with you, you will not be able to edit it because it has been checked out. So let me see. So I'm sharing that with us again. So you can try to access it. And then I will check it in so that we can get to demonstrate that version, This time is running. Egbe. So you can access the document. Why? Okay. This is checked out. It's not even giving me a friendly error because I'm a guest, so it doesn't care who I am. Okay. So because the document is checked out, I can't access it. I can't view it. It's not even giving me a friendly error. So let's close it and let's check it in. Just click on the 9 dots, go to more, should be see the option to. So discard and check out is if probably the changes you made uh after you checked out. I didn't make any change. But if I made a change and probably I didn't want that change to be uh, added to the file, I want to discard it. I can say discard and check in. So to just ignore whatever it I've done. But I've not made anything, but I want to make that change to be updated. So I use checking and asking me to add a new version, a minor version 0.1. There's no need because I didn't make any change. Comments. Okay, that's one thing you have when you are checking in and check out. Okay, you can add comments so that so that whenever I see the file, I know that oh, so that was why this file was checked out in the first place. But let's see if I have the access to the file now. Now that is it has been checked in. So you can see, although it didn't give me a friendly error message, but that was the reason why the file was not accessible. Something went wrong. What went wrong was not told. So what you can see now, you have access to the file. Yes, you can access it manually, but now you should be able to access the file. Okay, now you should be able to have access to the file. So let's confirm that. Let's but even if you access the file, I don't think you can make changes. So you shouldn't be able to make change. Okay, yes, so you can see I can't make changes. The reason is because that we just enforce that all the files in this Voj library. Why is my Voj not showing here? Okay, all the files in the Voj library must be checked out before they can be edited. Okay, they must be checked out before they can be edited. And so that's why you can see the file, but you can't make any change to the file. Yes, so it's going to show read only. So enough of checkout and checking. And but if we go back to let's move on, please. But let me see if I've covered what I wanted to cover on check-in, check-out. So we have looked at check-in, check-out, which is specifically for document library. Then we have seen versioning as well. So we have also seen co-authoring. So let's move on to content approval. We're still going to come back to our document library where we look at creating views. Okay. But let's look at content approval quickly. So in content approval, we just go straight to demonstrate it. So we want to create a list on this document library. So I'll go to my site content again. So instead of choosing document library, I'll choose a list. So if I'm making sense thus far, let's drop it in the let's drop a message. Yeah, somebody said it can accessible, cannot make changes. That's correct. That's expected. You can't make change because that document library has the option to require that before you can edit the document is checked out. Okay, so if I click on new now, I'll click on list. So we're all focusing on the modern view for these functionalities. So I have some great templates here, but I'm not using any of them today. So you have recipe tracker, reading list, all of that. So you can also create a list from Excel or from CSV. We are creating a blank list. And the name of our list is leave requests. Wait, so do we have leave requests in that template? I don't know if we have, so well, let's just move on. Leave request is the name of our list. Leave request is the name of our list. Let's add columns. So let's add a column person. The name of the list will be who. The type is person. Show profile picture, yes. Let's save. Come on. Did I click on save? Let me see. Now allow me to click. Okay, so we have who. Sorry, I'm using a very interesting name. The next thing is when. Okay, when. So that will be include the time. No. Friendly format. No. Default value. No. So let's add that. They want to add y. Okay. Where is it? Y. That will be choice. Let's use choice. Y. And let's have annual emergency and casual, something like that. Okay. So I don't want this guy. So I need to remove it. I want this title. So I need to edit my list. Where is that again? You click on add new item. Edit column, and check title, then save. That is here. What's happening? Oh, I need to open it again. Okay. So I'll share this list with my other user. So I'll just click on list settings. List settings, versioning. This time is require content to be approved. Yes. Okay. Keep drafts. I don't need to bother myself with that. only users who can approve items will see them. Okay, so okay, no. Yes, that's correct. And the author of the item, that's what I was looking for. So users who can approve will see them. The person that added the item will also see it, that they can know the status, they can track the status of their leave. Okay, so I've added that to my list. So I can go back to my leave request here. And oh, I wanted to share. That's why I went to the list settings page. Sorry, I have to go back again. So I'm going to show something here. Permission for this list. I want to add Alex. Okay, I want to add Alex. So I'll just go to should I add Alex? Let's get to members. Alex and Vans. What permissions do they have? So let's look at it. Okay, I'm adding them to the members, so they have edit permission. Just share. So we have Alex as members. So if I go back to the list, and because of my time, I'll just copy the URL. So if you see, you can see that SharePoint list has list and the list name in the URL. Document library doesn't have anything like document, but just the document name directly. Okay, so note that subsite has sites, the URL. So it means that from a link, you'll be able to know if an item is a site, or I think I have subsite already. Okay, let me just create one since I'm here. URL. Just create. Someone is asking who can edit a file after checkout. Anyone that has permission to that file can edit a file after checkout. Now, that statement is dependent on the document library permission. So if the document library has said that a file must be checked out before they can be edited. So it means that even though you have permission to edit, you now need to first check out the file and then edit the file. Okay, so you need to first check out the file and then be able to edit the file. So I'll show us that later. So, but let's go back here. So this is my site. So if you look at this is site. So you look at the URL, it has site, the main site, and then the site site name. I'm moving to that sub site now. So did I not choose option to show the parent this thing? Oh, I didn't do that. So I lost my parent. So I just use the URL to go back to the parent site. So back to our list. So we want to demonstrate content approval. So we have shared the file with Alex and Miss Vance. So let's go to, so because I've added approval, content approval, it automatically creates a column, or rather makes a column visible called approval status. Okay. And then it also creates something called all items, approve or reject items, my submissions, and then you can add view. So we're going to look at this after. These are views. These are views. So let's go to let's copy this list and then let's go to the user. This is Miss Vance. So there's maternity leave, but we didn't add it. So she will choose annual. Where am I? This is leave request now. Okay. So let's add item. We didn't even put a start date and end date, but let's just say start date. And then why is emergency. You're not attaching anything, just save. Okay, so you can see it shows pending. It shows pending. Okay, let's see this other user that I've added here, Alex. Wow, this is Alex. Alex cannot see anything. Okay, but if I go to Vance or Adele, I have something here. Okay, so that is just granularity in SharePoint. So let's Alex to apply for his own leave. Alexi Weber. And then date is 29. And casual. Save. So you can see Alex has a view. You can see that his list is what is it called? His approval is pending. And the same way for maybe I should just resize this, put them side by side. Okay, I could have just used a cascade now. Where is it? Showing those side by side. Okay, so you can see this user, my pending is not showing you. I need to hide this. What is it called? that title. So let's edit this all item view. So that's taking me now to view. So edit. So view is just a concept that allows you to show or set what you want visible on a list or SharePoint document library. So I don't want to see that title. So I've removed it from my list, the all item list view I have created. So if I go to the other users as well, that shouldn't be visible any longer, as long as they are on the all item view. Okay, so you can see it. Okay, you can see it. Okay, now how does this guy approve the admin or the MD or whoever? So you just need to click on this checkbox and then click here on the three dots, and then you see approve or reject. Approve or reject. Then you can now choose maybe for Adele want to approve it, approved, and you can now add comment and say enjoy your leave. Okay, approve will become visible to all users. Then for Alex, what happens to Alex? So I right click on the list and I go to go to my more, and then I click on approve or reject. And maybe because Alex did not buy me lunch last week, bam, rejected. So reward for not buying lunch. There's no, is this how to spell lunch? There's no emoji, so just submit. Okay, so you can see approved, rejected. So let's see what they are able to see on their end. Let's go back. This is Alex. Alex can see the approval status of his list, rejected, bam. And Adele can see, and you can also see that they approve somebody else. So you can see that immediately it's approved, it becomes visible by all users who have access to the list. But once it's rejected, it also becomes visible. Sorry, it will remain on the listen. So you can see because Alex was rejected, this lady cannot see it. But Alex can see that she was approved. Okay. Somebody say favorite. It's not because Vance is a female. It's because of the lunch that Alex did not buy. So and the comment is there. So all Alex needs to do just to get up and buy lunch and then apply for another leave, and that will get approved. Okay, so one more thing before we close is alert. This guy has been given the task to be approving leave, and he needs to be on his toes. Okay, or let's just leave this approval and this because we created content approval, so even it might not be the same experience. Let's just quickly create a new list. So I'll go to my site content and then I'll go to, so you can see all the things that I have created and their type showing here and what is inside them. So you can see people actually participated in this Zanara document library. We have 209 items already. So let's add a list. We want to do alerts. We want to do alerts. So we want to create, let's see if there is an order issue tracking. Let's just create one because I don't want to start editing too many things. May come back with what I don't want. Orders. Create. Okay, somebody asking if they get email for rejection. Okay, so that is something that is can be automated. Okay, so by default, SharePoint does not give all of that information. Or we can check just to be sure. Just click on this. Let's go to Outlook and let's see if there's any email for the users where their approval. Let's see. Okay, so this guy only got the email of being invited to the site. Okay, and this also should have email of being invited to the site as well. Okay, yeah. So you won't get email when you okay. Thank God we haven't opened email because I want to use this to demonstrate alerts now. So you won't get email for reject or accept, and that's where uh, Power Automate comes in. Okay, where you can automate what you want to see. So we want to add more like an order form. So you have okay, item, single line, item, I think item and just the person. Let's just keep it short. Who? Okay. Urgency or urgent. Yes or no. Default value should be no. Okay. So we have that. So let's remove the title as well. We don't want to see the title. Okay, but that's not where we're going. Now let's implement our approval. So you also see that this guy did not get an email whether he needs to approve anything. Where did we go to? Versioning settings. Approve. Okay. Go back to my orders. Create all of that for me. Oh, I didn't turn off my view. If I scroll down, I have my all item view. I'll click on it and I'll just hide this guy quickly. Okay. So if you come to automate, you have rules. Okay. So, that's what you can also configure approvals as well. But our focus is just alerts. So if you click on create a rule, it bring us here. And our rule is when a new item is created. When a new item is created, just send an email um, to Alex. Okay, send an email to Alex. And then another rule, when an item is modified, okay, which is the urgent, changes to not to anything, changes to yes. Then send an email to this lady. Okay. So wait, I've not confused myself here. So this is for when is urgent, when it's created. Okay, okay, okay. So let's play around that. I'm complicating this, and time is up already. So we need to give them permission. Okay, as you just give them access to the entire site so that we can move. If I give them permission to the entire site, it means they can also be able to approve. It means they can also be able to approve. Let's just forget we're not doing approval here. We're not doing approval here. So even though we have approved, but let's just leave that. So this guy, Alex, is the storekeeper. Okay, Alex is the storekeeper. So whether the item is approved or not, we want him to be notified. But Alex has Miss Vance or Adele as her manager. So when it's urgent, we want her to know that it's urgent, okay, or to be in a copy. So let's demonstrate that quickly. So this guy will add an item. Of course, because he's the admin, it's going to automatically be approved. Just want to just demonstrate this alert quickly. The time has not been friendly. This title, I don't like it, and so item is MacBook, and it's for the CEO. Okay, urgency is it's not urgent. Just save it. Okay. So this is when an item is created. Come on. Is it not saved? Item MacBook. Let's drop our questions so that we can start tackling that. Party. Then let's save. Okay. And let's add one more. This will be for what's it called now? Table ls mouse. This is for Pradeep, the accountant, and it's urgent. Click on save. I don't know why this is. So let's see who received alerts. So you can see this lady here is the manager probably watching a movie series. She's cool, no alerts. But Alex, being the storekeeper, for every new item, send an alert. So you can see he has 2 alerts already. Okay, he has 2 alerts already. So if I click on it, on the alert, I can see the detail. Updated item, updated list orders. Okay. Okay, so that's just his own task. Every new item updates Alex. So, but now this has lingered for long, and it needs to be. So I'll change it to urgent and save. So what happens? Okay, so we have this coming in here as well. You added an item, you added an item. Then what? This is lady not receiving me. What happened? Eh, what is her username? It's correct now. Okay, let's take question. Somebody says, can SharePoint and library be given? Yes, you can give it the same name. Okay, you can. Okay, list has list, then the name of the list. Document library is just the document library immediately after the site name. Okay, so it doesn't conflict, but you know what will happen here when you have vote, you don't know which one is list, which one is library. Okay, so for user experience, it might not be appropriate, but for SharePoint, it's acceptable. Any other question? Why I'm looking at my orders. See why I didn't want to add this approval this thing. That's why this lady has not received alert. And it's adding, oh my, see. The item I updated is adding it as a new listing. So I think I just need to approve. Can I approve all of them at the same time? Approved. Bam. Okay, so that has been approved. Then this guy here is no, it's not what I want to do. I'll come back here. So let's see this now. Okay. She still did not receive it because of the content approval I've added on this side. But let's confirm if that's what we have done. Let's go to manage rules. Okay, so she's actually the one that is there. When urgent changes to true, send email to. Okay, this guy, let's see. You're going to change to this thing to be approving. That's what I tell to. It's going to break the flow. Yeah, going to break the flow. I don't know why I added that approval. Let's turn that off for this list. Somebody saying is trying that. Can both document library and list? So the thing is, you can have the same name for list and library, but not the same name for both document library. So somebody say I should try it. So let's try it now. So let's go straight to site content. Ask questions. So we are rounding up already. We have done alerts and every other thing that we should. What do I want to do? I want to create a document library. Blank. And I want to give it orders. Says library already exists. Okay. So it means it's not allowed. Okay, so thank you for confirming that. Okay, so it means it's not allowed. Okay, so that means SharePoint stores the app with the same name. Okay, so that confirms that you can't have the same name for a document library and a list.